So let's deep dive into the hub right now and show you some of the time-saving settings and preferences that will really help you out. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about some of the options that a lot of people are confused on eBay. Some of the things that you can do that quite a few people out there aren't aware of, like automation and things like that with a lot of the operations that you already do on eBay. So let's deep dive into the hub right now and show you some of the time-saving settings and preferences that will really help you out. So let's start off real quick on listing things. With listing itself, I do not use templates. And I know a lot of people say use templates, they're so much quicker, there's so much this, there's so much that. Now, I've put in templates on numerous occasions and had them disappear, and I'm done with messing with things disappearing in my store, like listings and things like that. From the hub, for me, all I do to list something then is just go to sell similar for a similar item. I just type in whatever I'm going to list, a stamp, a postcard, a toy, whatever it is, and I just click sell similar from them. Now, obviously, this is the sell similar option right here. Now, obviously, you can customize this page to some extent. You can also use eBay's product database if it's something, say, NOS, new old stock, or new items in general. Now, all I do when I'm listing anything is bunch them together. So I'll list a whole bunch of postcards all together. Some time savers right off the bat. I don't have to change the word postcard in the title. I don't have to change the storage location. Usually I don't have to change the date structure. If they're all California I list together, I don't have to change that. So I may only be typing in 5 or 6 words for the entire title for this, and that's it, I'm done. I have a generalized condition statement. As long as it falls and has any of these basic issues with the card, I don't change or add a single thing to the description of the condition at all. Now, when I do my photos too, I have a zoom in here. This first image is just an enlarged section of the next image over. So when I'm taking photographs or scanning in this case, it scans both sides of the card at the very same time, and all I have to do is upload the front of the card twice, and then I can do a zoom in. This fills up the picture. It doesn't leave any border. It zooms in on the high section, the most important aspect of this, what's going to draw someone into the listing. Everything else, as long as I'm in the same area, pretty much stays the same. All of my cards, I stick to the same type, so they're going to be printed lithographs. I usually try and list similar things together. So if you're doing shirts or something, the same principle. If you're doing books, same principle. Put all the history books together, all the science fiction or whatever. You bulk list everything you can. You turn it into an assembly line to cut off the stages of changing anything around in the listing. So basically, I'm not doing anything other than a couple of words, photos, and then a price. That's it. And you can even stage the prices together of your listings. Now here, I don't type anything else new in my description box if it's just a postcard. If it's a shirt, if it's a toy, it just says the exact same thing here, except instead of the word postcard, it'll say toy, action figure, t-shirt, hat, glass, tumbler, whatever it is. That's all I'm changing in here. That is it. Everything else stays the same. So I'm not typing in a ton of different things in my listings. So all I've got to do at this point is just go ahead and put the price in if I change the price. I have business policies, which we'll show you how to set up in just a minute here for everything. So if I need to change something, I can. If not, it's just a matter of me clicking a button and I can change it to whichever policy fits whatever type of item I am listing. I don't have to set up anything new. I don't have to type in anything new for any of the shipping, my return policy, my payment policy, or anything. Every one of my listings has the very same payment policy. Every one of my listings has pretty much the same return policy, unless it's some oddball item, but 99% of all the items I have up have the exact same that. So I don't have to change much. When I list like-to-like items as well, I don't have to change anything on the packaging. I don't have to change the weight. I don't do any promoted listings, so I just ignore this entire section, and then I'm done. That is it for me on a listing. It only takes a matter of moments. If you're listing something that takes 4 or 5 photos, I may have to write a quick condition statement and then upload a few extra photos, and then the title and the price. That's it. It takes maybe 30 seconds more to type up something real quick. That's it. So worst case scenario, I try to stick to items that are only 5 photos or less. no matter what. I try to stick to items that are 5 photos or less. Obviously, I do take higher items or things that are quick movers or things that I get multiples of, and I may do something with a ton of photos, 12 photos, which is the max. Now, since we touched on business policies, let's go look actually at business policies. Now, when you click on that, it'll bring you up to your business policies, and this is my standard page for all business policies that I have set up on eBay. The top one here is return, standard return policy. This is my default. You could set up 20 different returns. You could set up 20 different payment policies. You could set up 100 different shipping methods if you want. So you'd have everything in there. It's just like Amazon. You set all that stuff up ahead of time. Once it's set up, you can just do a drop-down menu and pick any one of them you want for any listing, real quick and easy. And you never have to worry about punching anything else into your listing at all. It's just a quick drop-down menu. Now, one thing I should say is always know the weight of your item packed. If you're not sure, put the item and the packing material, the box and all that on a scale and just weigh it out. Most of the stuff I sell are similar items, and I can pretty much guesstimate within, say, 1/4 of an ounce, 1/2 an ounce, depending on what it is, what the final weight will be every single time. This will save you a ton of time since you're not typing in all kinds of stuff for every single listing separately. So in just a few moments, you can alter any one of your listings all at once. Now let's look at automation, and we're back at the hub now. You can see automation right here. Now you may have to have a store for some of these features. I'm telling you straight out. Personally, I would always recommend getting a store. Whatever level gives you all of this stuff. It'll be well worth the added benefits and things and the features that this offers you. You can do so much more with the hub than you can just having my eBay or any of the other older options out there. So let's go to automated preferences. Now in automated preferences, one of the biggest ones I do is I have it set so I never have to leave feedback ever. The minute the buyer pays for the item, I leave them feedback automatically. I don't have to go in and do it. I never have to worry about it. It's instant. Now, I know a lot of people worry that, hey, I'd rather have it done if they leave positive feedback. That's another option you can set it up as well. So buyer has paid for this item and left me positive feedback. Now, I personally think once the buyer has paid for the item, they've left, they've taken their item, it's in the mail, whatever the case may be, they fulfilled their duties with me. So that's all I look at this as. Now, one other thing I hear tons of questions on is how do I shut off the auto relist of my items? Now, in the same automation setting here, there is an option, listings, automation schedule, suspend my items from being automatically listed and relisted. So that means when the 30-day is up, it will end your listings. You can set it for lengths of time and the whole works here. Now this can come in very handy because if you want to slow down or limit some of the items you have on there, you're hitting your limits, it will stop them from relisting, and then you can judge from there where you stand on free listings. As I know a lot of people out there are only using up the free listings options, and after that they're a little hesitant to go beyond that. Now another option I hear a lot of questions on is the zero quantity option. When you have multiple quantity items, you can actually set it so it does not end. Your item will just go to a zero quantity, but people can still actually physically look at your listing like it's active. It'll just say zero quantity. Now that option you can find here under site preferences in the selling preferences section. And what you'll see is multi-quantity listings. Listings stay active when you're out of stock. Now we use this for obviously multi-quantity items, but what we do with it is only list one item at a time. We may have 20 of something that sells for $100, but we're only listing one at a time. One of the biggest bonuses of this option is if people are watching the item and there's only one listed and it sells, it's still available. All the people that were watching it are still there because the listing is still active. Now, if you don't use this option and you want to use this method, what you're going to run into is it's going to sell and you'll have to hit sell similar after it ends, after you've sold it each and every time. You can't just change the quantity. So I can actually come over here in the hub and change the quantity just by clicking the pencil. It'll allow me to alter it at any given point. I don't have to click on a listing. I don't have to click edit or anything else. And as I said, with using this option, what happens is all of the data, all the followers, all of the watchers, all of those people that were interested in it, anybody who has saved the listing as well, it'll still be there. It won't disappear. Sell similar, it'll always disappear because you're selling a whole new listing. Now, I've got other videos that go into more depth on this aspect of it, but this is how you set it up. That's the biggest thing that most people aren't aware of or don't know where it is or what that option is to begin with. Now, when you sell a bunch of the same items and you keep adding one at a time, eventually you're going to have items that say you've sold 10 of them, but there's only one left because you're only keeping one active at any given time. That one active aspect is the best bonus that you get from using that option. So it'll look like you sold 8 or 10 of them, and there's only one left every single time. So next time you sell one, it's going to say you sold 11 of them, only one left. 12, one left. 13, one left. So it creates a bigger and bigger sense of urgency as time goes by, as you sell more and more of these items. As of now, we actually have probably close to $70,000 worth of inventory that's not shown at all in our actual eBay inventory totals because we aren't listing the quantity up on eBay. It's just always showing one. We've got probably 1,000 plus listings that we do that to right now. Now, there is a return option too that I should touch on just a second here. Now, a lot of people miss the return messages when a buyer wants to return something because eBay automatically accepts it. Now, there's one single option on here that can at least notify you in most cases that that is there because you will have to supply a number of sorts when a buyer wants to return something. And that's an RMA number. Now, I have this turned on because it always notifies me if there's a problem with my items. If they're opening up the return because of a problem with it, it will notify me instantly and ask me to put in my RMA number. So my return authorization number is basically what that is. So it'll give you at least the option to see it immediately so you're not wondering or waiting because, again, eBay does automatically accept a lot. Now, if the return is because they didn't like it or it just wasn't what they were looking for, that's on the buyer's case in here, and they're not going to notify you. eBay is automatically going to accept the return depending on how your returns are set up. Now, I do 30-day free returns on all of our items. So with 30-day free returns, which is what we have, it will automatically accept certain ones if it's because the buyer just changed their mind or something like that. So all of these options here can be extremely helpful as long as you understand how they work, what they do, and where to find them. Well, there we have it. Hopefully that gave you some ideas, some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.